aboard the Marquette. We are now embarking on a 2-hour, 10-mile round trip through the beautiful and scenic upper dells of the Wisconsin River. We'll be making 2 shore landings along the way. Our first is a self-guided tour through the cool canyon of the Witch's Gulch, and our second is at the world-famous Stand Rock. We'll have a chance to see our world-famous jumping German Shepherd.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome aboard the Marquette. My name is John. I'll be your pilot today for the life jackets. Some are located downstairs in the 6 wooden blue benches right up front of the boat. The seats just fold open and the life jackets are stored inside. On the back deck and the upper deck there, the back of the boat in that wooden box. The lid just comes off, the life jackets are stored inside there as well.
On either side, you will see 2 large cliffs. These form the lower jaws to the upper dells. On your right, you will see a cliff known as High Rock. Can I get everyone to say High Rock? High Rock! High Rock stands at about 65 feet tall, and then on your left is a cliff known as Romance Cliff, standing at about 75 feet tall. Now, according to Native American legend, they would hold their marriage ceremonies up there, where the groom would be given a pine bow, which would be ignited and tossed over the side of the cliff. If that pine bow stayed lit all the way to the bottom, they would receive the blessings of the elders and live a long and happy marriage. But if that pine bow blew out before hitting the bottom, the elders would refuse their blessings, and the result would simply just be a long marriage. Chimney Rock. It gets its name after stick and mortar chimneys used by the early pioneers. It is also an excellent example of the differential erosion you will see on the river today. All these are twin sisters, and just off to your left is our twin sister Kate, and about 60 yards upstream is her sister Duplicate. Now, as I said before, we are entering the newest part of the Wisconsin River that you will see today, known as the Narrows. It was formed about 14,000 years ago by the rapid drainage of Glacial Lake, Wisconsin. This turn and would often either crash, losing their lives themselves, or injuring their rafts. So this part of the river became known as the Devil's Elbow. And one young man became particularly skilled at navigating this part of the river. His name was Leroy Gates. That type of work were known as standing river pilots. Leroy Gates became very confident with his skills and would oftentimes sport a dress coat and a top hat as he came around this turn, and would draw large crowds of spectators. Leroy Gates also left us an inscription on that rock just to the left under that lowest hanging Canadian hemlock branch. Now, it is a little weathered, so I will read it to you. It says, Leroy Gates, Dells and River Pilot from 1849 to 58. We here at the Dells like to think Leroy Gates left us the Wisconsin Dells its first billboard. There to see a rock formation known as Batman's Misery. Now, we no longer have this rock formation with us, but don't worry, those docks do not go to waste. We use them every night in the summer for our ghost boat tours. You dock where we got on earlier, we'd pull you up here, send you on your way, and we never hear from you again. It is made out of a little bit harder material than sandstone, because if it were made of sandstone, it would have broken into thousands of pieces. Now, today we use this as a bit of an unofficial high water marker. At a particular high water period in time in 1993, water crested at the top of the shield, but that was not its highest, because in 1938 and 2010, water was about 4 feet above the shield.
Straight in front of us is Steamboat Rocks. Steamboat Rocks, the marker symbol for the old pumpkin seed shaped steamboats here on the Upper Dells.
That does get a little cooler and a little darker, kind of giving it a romantic feel. So we call this part of the river Lover's Lane. So if you are sitting next to that special someone, or you got lucky and you're sitting next to someone you find kind of cute, lean over, get real close, and give them a nice, big $20 bill. That's love, right, folks? Now, a lot of people do ask where that staircase goes, and I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't seen it go anywhere. I think it just sits there all summer long. No, actually, it does lead to the last privately owned resort on the Upper Dells, known as Chula Vista. Chula Vista translates to beautiful view, and I'm sure we can all agree that they do in fact have a Chula Vista, a research foundation with the intention that it would be protected and preserved. They kept it in their care until 1996 when it was turned over to the state of Wisconsin. It is now under the care of the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources, who made all this area a state natural area, which essentially means that it is given more protection than a state park. Just off to your right, you will see the tallest cliffs you're going to see today. They stand at about 90 feet tall. And just on your right is what is known as Sunset Cliff. It gets its name as the sun sets in the evening, and those light rays bounce off the water and onto the rock, causing it to light up with beautiful colors. And then off to your left is what is known as Signal Point. It is rumored that Native Americans would signal to each other across the bay, letting each other know when their ceremonies are going to start.
Of the world, a more fitting name would have been the rock formation capital of the world. And one man by the name of H.H. Bennett brought all that attention right here to Wisconsin Dells. Now, H.H. Bennett grew up in Canada in 1843 and came to the Dells as a young man in 1857, where he worked as a carpenter. He was then enlisted in the Civil War in the 1860s, where he injured his right hand. He came back to the Dells unable to grasp a hammer or saw and decided he needed to look for a new profession. He actually bought Leroy Gates' photography studio that was up for sale at the time. Now, he knew absolutely nothing about photography, but decided to give it his best shot. What he liked to do was load all his photography equipment into a raft, float that down the Wisconsin River, and photograph these gorgeous rock formations you have seen all around you. But he still felt he couldn't get the best shot due to the limitations of photography at the time. What he wanted to capture was the rushing waters of the Wisconsin River, or raftsmen coming down that river on their rafts. Here's how photography worked in the 1800s. You'd set up your camera, aim it at a stationary object, and that object would have to remain completely still for up to 4 minutes. Stand up. Go ahead. I can get it. Rocky, go up. Now, that original photograph can be found in the Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C., but a lot of his other prints, photographs, and technology can be found right here in Wisconsin Dells at the H.H. Bennett Studio and Museum located on Broadway Street. If you have any questions about that, feel free to ask me. That's all I have for you right here at Stand Rock. did not enjoy your time today, please remember you're aboard the Red Cloud. Your guide's name was Olivia, and your captain's name was Trent.
We'll be docking right in front of this tan building. You'll get off the boat, take those brown set of stairs through a series of ramps. They'll take you up to street level. If you need an elevator, let us know. But I hope you all enjoyed your time today. It was a gorgeous day for a boat ride. Enjoy the rest of your time in Wisconsin Dells. We'll let you know when it is safe to stand up and come ashore.